Hey guys, welcome back. COVID 19 is affecting all of our life in a more or less similar way. However, certain people of our family seem to be more vulnerable to this infection and the life threatening aspect of this disease. In this session, we will talk about the chances of infection and its impact on a family. So, stay till the end because some facts might surprise you.
Firstly, we are going to talk about the elders in our family. As observed by the recent trends, our elderly people are not extra susceptible to this disease, but can be affected severely due to their weak immune system and other underlying disease conditions. Older people with the following problems, such as chronic lung disease, asthma, serious heart conditions, severe obesity, diabetes, chronic kidney disease, liver disease, are in high risk category and should be more careful. The next category we are going to talk about is middle-aged people with high blood pressure. Men and women appear to get COVID-19 infection at roughly equal rates, but in most countries, men are much more likely to die of it. It may be due to differences in immune response and behavioral aspects such as alcoholism and smoking, which weaken immune system and overall lung function. So far, there is no evidence that people with hypertension have a greater risk of serious COVID-19 infection. Also, there is no evidence that types of medication used to treat hypertension alter the probability of getting COVID-19 disease or change its severity. So, there is no need for people with hypertension to change their medication as well.
Middle-aged people with smoking habits. Smokers are more likely to be vulnerable to COVID-19 as the act of smoking, meaning the fingers and possibly contaminated cigarettes, are in contact with lips, which increases the possibility of transmission of virus from your hands to your mouth. Smokers may already have lung disease or reduced lung capacity, which greatly increases the risk of this serious illness. In metadata studies of 1980s patients, a statistically significant association between smoking and the COVID-19 severity was shown. In another study, the smoking and the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease showed the significant increase in the ACE2 expression, which increases the chance of getting infected.
Pregnant women. Till now, there have been a very few studies available for evaluating the risk of pregnant women for COVID-19 infection. In one of the case studies, the characteristics reported in pregnant women with confirmed COVID-19 infection were similar to those reported for non-pregnant adults with confirmed COVID-19 infection. As pregnant women are more susceptible to respiratory pathogens and severe pneumonia than the general population, therefore, pregnant women and newborn babies should be considered key at-risk population. Young, adolescent and children. Though there is no report on increased infection risk for young and adolescent, they can show severe symptoms and need to be hospitalized in some cases. Recent reports from Europe and North America have described clusters of children and adolescents requiring admission to intensive care units with multi-system inflammatory conditions such as the Kawasaki disease and the toxic shock syndrome. Based on the available evidence, children do not appear to be at a higher risk of infection for COVID-19 compared to adults. Children can get COVID-19 infections through either the touch or the nasal route, which can be prevented through hand washing and hygiene training.
Pets, dogs and cats. Well, yes, we are not the only ones being hassled here. At this time, there is no evidence that pets such as cats and dogs play a significant role in spreading the virus that causes COVID-19. We are still learning about this virus, but it appears that it can spread from people to animal in some situations. As CDC observed, a small number of pets such as cats and dogs can be infected with the virus that causes COVID-19 mostly after close contact with people with COVID-19. So what to do? Continue taking prescribed medications as prescribed. Try to minimize stress. Keep hydrated and continue physical activity. Do not let children or pets interact with people or animal outside the household. Treat pets as you would treat other human family members. If a person in the household becomes sick, isolate the person from everyone else, including the pets.
Welcome to the most awaited part of this episode. Excited to see what we have in store for you today? Let's have a look. Ever heard of COVID-19, Bill Gates, microchip and vaccine conspiracy theory? Amidst all the different social media posts about the future of the coronavirus, the rumor arose that coronavirus pandemic is used as an opportunity to use or plan the implant of the trackable microchips and that co-founder of Microsoft, Mr. Bill Gates, is behind this. The rumor came to surface when Mr. Gates proposed the idea of digital certificates to track who all received the vaccine. In the survey that took place in America, 28% of American citizens believed that Mr. Gates is behind this rumor. On grounds of no serious evidence, we seriously believe that someone as big as Bill Gates would do such a thing. Bill Gates has been helping and fighting the malaria and other diseases in African continent and through the world through his NGO known as Bill and Melinda Foundation, to which he himself donates majority of his income. The Gates Foundation then clarified that digital certificates were related to effort to create an open source platform for safe and home-based testing. Even if we put on our tinfoil hats and think about it for a second, why undertake such drastic microchip measures when our cell phone itself can provide all the data such a person would ever need? So think a bit before making such bold claims, folks.
The quiz questions for today's video are: how many animals do you know which are at a risk of COVID-19 infection? The second one is: which is the possible way in which pregnant women can pass their coronavirus onto their baby? A. Through placenta or B. Through milk feeding. Also, don't forget to check out the answers for the previous quiz in the description box below. Thank you.
So that ends our episode for today. We hope that we were able to give you some new information as a take home. If you enjoyed this video, like, share and subscribe, and also don't forget to press the bell icon to get new updates from our channel Sci FYI. So take care, stay safe, stay tuned. Bye.